The funny story behind why I became a lawyer is, growing up, my parents had two kids, my brother and me, and we were told from a very early age that we could do anything in the world that we wanted, so long as one of us was a lawyer and one of us was a physician. And so I really have a hard time with blood, and I'm a couple years older, so I chose law, and of course my brother had no choice but to become a doc, which he is. I'm generally referred to as a healthcare transactional lawyer. A lot of mergers and acquisitions in the healthcare space. That would include physician practices merging or acquiring one another, and also a lot of joint venture work between physician practices and hospitals, which is becoming more and more prevalent in the consolidation world in healthcare. There's very few firms in Chicago that concentrate on provider relationships, and we happen to be one of them. So we're the go-to firm for physician contracting, and in light of the vast consolidation in the Chicago market, indeed nationally, our services are required to negotiate contracts and acquisitions, and we're kind of the go-to place to do that. So there's a lot of changes right now going on in the healthcare business, especially driven by the consolidation, both with respect to payers, hospitals, and physician groups. So one of the attractive features of our firm is how nimble we are, and we're not layered to death. So we can make decisions at breakneck speed. We have some, of course, policies and procedures that we need to go through, but like conflict checks, for example, and all firms have to do that, of course. But with respect to being able to move through procedures and policies so we can be responsive to client needs immediately, we're at the top of the line. I love to fish, and when I retire in many, many years from now, I'd love to become a fishing guide. That's something that I've always aspired to do. So that's it. I also play the violin, which people are surprised to hear. Physicians come to us in times of turmoil, and oftentimes when they're licensed to practice medicine is on the line. And those are the most important cases that we handle because although it's not a criminal proceeding, it really affects their ability to practice medicine. And when I have the opportunity to navigate a situation and help a doc retain a license when that's the correct result, those are my most satisfying cases. Calling an attorney isn't necessarily a bad thing, and we encourage them to do it on a prospective basis. Too often I get a phone call, after the transaction or after a document was signed, and then clients are looking for help, and we educate them to try to talk with us before they get too far along in a business deal. So that's an important connection that we make, and you have to treat these relationships holistically. It's not just a contract, it's not just a license. It's about what's going on in their family. It's what's going on with outside pressures and concerns they have. And that's something that I learn almost immediately in these client relationships, is what's affecting them outside of the issue at hand when they've called.